Hi, it's Salvation again with a video about my second Breach League build. From time to time I get the urge to play an Aegis Aurora build because being a tank just feels awesome. Aegis Aurora replenishes your energy shield by 2% of your armor value on block. This means that you can get insane heals on block as long as your armor is high enough. The Gladiator SMC is an obvious choice. With versatile combatant you don't need any uniques to get all the block chance work on spells, which makes gearing a lot easier, as spell block items like Stone of Lasva or Rainbow Strides don't provide much else when it comes to good stats for this build. The explosions from Gratuitous Violence are a very nice boost to clear speed, and Violent Retaliation can boost Bladefall damage a lot against bosses and in breaches where you will block a lot of hits in a short time. For defense I'm using Grace and Determination auras with Iron Reflexes for as much armor as possible. On Aegis builds I made in the past I often opted to go for more energy shields than usual for Aegis builds. This time around I went for high life with pretty low energy shield. In my opinion both ways are viable, but the lower the life part is, the more important is chaos resist on your gear. At the moment I'm pretty happy with about 6k life and 1k AS and around 30k armor unbuffed, going up to 55k buffed with flasks. The question with Aegis is always how the hell do I deal damage now, and this time I tried some pretty hipster stuff. I am using Blade Flurry, cast while channeling Bladefall, supported by Added Chaos, Void Manipulation and Poison. The support gems all support Flurry and Bladefall at the same time. And I'm scaling mostly pure chaos damage, also using a claw with chaos damage roll and crafted chaos damage on my rings. The claw is pretty cheap as you can get it from the Rabbit Roar divination card. You then augment and real the claw and craft attack speed if you did not get it on the Orc or Regal. If you get lucky and got the APS roll, you can craft the Leo damage over time mod for a little more poison damage. I also want to try how a good physical DPS claw would compare to the current setup, and it's an option for sure as we get some decent percent physical damage from the shield block nodes anyway. As I did not have the points to go for Resolute Technique, accuracy can be a problem, but 1 or 2 accuracy rolls on gear are enough to get close to 90% chance to hit. The damage is of course not really up to the clear speed meta, but in my opinion it's decent enough with some options for upgrades. I killed Chul, Ash and normal Atziri when it comes to harder bosses, so the DPS is enough for Breach Lords and Atziri is a pretty easy farm really. But there are a lot of options I want to try, like only scaling the spell or the attack, using a wizard totem instead of war chief, or even using completely different spells or attack like using wizard cast one channeling Bladefall. Flasks are a pretty big deal as I can boost damage and defense by a lot for this build. I'm using a sulfur flasks for the 40% increased damage, combined with lots of charges and long duration. It is a perfect flask for bleed removal. A granite or jade flask will boost the armor by a ton, especially if used with an additional armor or evasion increased rolled on it. Witchfire Brew is an amazing unique flask. It boosts the evasion by 100%, provides damage over time and curses with a vulnerability, boosting all our damage by a lot. Atziri's Promise adds a good damage to the Bladefall and also gives chaos resist, which is really important to have. The last flask is a life flask to recover from the really big hits that get through to your life. This league also brought a lot of interesting uniques that I would like to try with this build. For example, the Red Nightmare could save a lot of points on block nodes and also provide endurance charges if used in the Marauder area next to Crystal Skin. Another very interesting item that I did try already is the Formless Inferno. It provides a lot of armor. When I tried it with my current setup, it brought me up to 45k unbuffed and 80k buffed, which is amazing. Sadly I would lose a lot of effective HP to use it, because the life roll is pretty low and it does not have any energy shield. Still a very interesting option and can do even a lot more if you plan around it a bit more. I think using an ES hybrid armor together with it would be the way to go to get a little more energy shield for the effective HP. Then there is the Surrenderer, which could replace Aegis. It does not need as much armor to work and does not need energy shield at all. but the heal on block is lower than a well-built Aegis. I would still like to try it and see how much points I could save on armor and energy shield nodes and get more damage for it, and how good it feels when I need the heals in hard combat situations. That's it so far. As you can hear, there's still a lot of stuff to try, and I'll update you with a new video when I tried out some of the stuff that I mentioned. Overall, I can say that this build, as it stands now, is a pretty fun build. I have a lot of fun playing it, even if the clear speed isn't all that blitzy as some other builds that I played and that most people like to play in the latest leagues. But I think it's a different experience, and if you never played a block build and this looks in the slightest interesting to you, I would recommend just trying it out. It's really fun, and Aegis is cheap as it never was before, so there is not much cost in trying this. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to like and subscribe, it helps me a lot.